Look, Steve Jobs wasn't just some genius who got lucky. He worked obsessively on getting better. His secret wasn't about tech, it was about how he thought and how he reflected on the world. And that's why he was able to build Apple, change entire industries, and create products that we are still using today. In this video, I will give you 3 specific things from the life of Steve Jobs as a leader and how you can implement it in your lives too. Hi, I'm Altaf, and if you're new to this recently started channel, then I've been working as a learning and development professional for over 17 years now. And on this channel, I share simple steps, challenges, and create points of reflection that you can incorporate to improve yourself as a leader without any motivational talks. Lesson number 1, Ruthless Simplicity. You know what most people get wrong about self-improvement? They think it's about adding more goals, more books to read, more habits, more things to do. Steve Jobs did the opposite. He was a master of cutting out distractions. His mindset, deciding what not to do, is as important as deciding what to do. When he returned to Apple in 1997, the company had 350 products. He slashed it down to 10. That's it, 10. He wasn't even trying to do everything. He was trying to do a few things really, really well. How can you apply this today? Look at your daily routine. What are things that are distracting you from doing one thing that you know is the most important one? And cut rest everything else out. Stop trying to be a multitasking master. Be a deep work master instead. And once you have completed the deep work in one task, then pick up another. Basically, focus on one important thing at a time and give it your laser-focused attention. Jobs did 2 or 3 products a year, but he focused intensely on one breakthrough at a time. And you know this either through the original Mac, iMac, iPod, MacBook Air, iPhone, iPad, etc. Lesson number 2, obsession over details. Here's where Jobs was absolutely next level. He wasn't just obsessed with making great products, he was obsessed with making them perfect. For example, when Apple was designing the first Mac, he told the engineers, the inside of the computer needs to look beautiful, even if no one sees it. Think about that. Most people would never open it up. It didn't matter. But still, it had to be great from inside and out. And this level of high standards, it forces everyone around you to even step up. Like right now, when you should step up and hit that subscribe button if you want to keep getting these valuable lessons. Another brilliant example of this was the glass for Apple stores. Jobs wanted it to be seamless, no metal frames, no interruptions. Everyone said that's impossible. But Jobs didn't care. He pushed his team and they invented a brand new process to create massive glass panels that changed retail architecture forever. Well, how can you apply this today? Pick up one area in your life or your work where you know you have been cutting corners. And you know which ones. Raise your standards, even if no one is watching or asking you to do so. When people see that you refuse to accept the word good enough, they will start leveling up too, and that will improve the overall quality of the output. Lesson number 3, develop a thick skin, and one of my favorite ones. Let's be real, nobody likes getting criticized. We all have been there, right? You're in a meeting and someone just rips into your idea in front of 20 people. It stings and it makes you want to shut down. Imagine this. Steve Jobs was publicly fired from his own company. Not just in a room, not just in front of his team, the entire tech industry. Silicon Valley, the media, investors watched him get pushed out of Apple like he was nothing. Let that sink in. Most people would have been done after that. They would have just disappeared. But Jobs, he came back stronger. He built Pixar, he built Next. He kept going because he had a thick skin. And when he returned to Apple, he did not come back bitter. He came back better. Without the resilience, the iPhone wouldn't have existed. How do you apply this today? Don't let criticism break you. Use it to improve yourself. The next time someone calls out a mistake, instead of getting defensive, ask, what can I learn from this so I am never again in this position? When you get knocked down by someone, find a way to reconcile and get back up even stronger. Nobody who does something great gets there without facing setbacks. Now let's talk about Bob Iger, the former CEO of Disney. When he took over Disney in 2005, Disney was struggling. The company had lost creative edge, the animation studio was in decline, and the competitors like Pixar from Steve Jobs were dominating. So what did Iger do? He applied the same 3 principles, what we just discussed. Step 1, he focused on one thing, making Disney content the best in the world. Step 2, Iger got into details. After Pixar's acquisition in 2006, he got into the culture, the creative process, the storytelling method of Pixar. He adopted Pixar's creative discipline, leading to hits like Frozen, Zootopia, and Moana. Step 3, he also made the bold decision to acquire Marvel and Lucasfilms, which is a Star Wars franchisee. At that time, everybody thought he was crazy. Marvel? That's just a comic book. Star Wars? That's a dead franchise. The media and Wall Street ripped him. But Iger, he ignored that noise and stayed the course and was resilient. Today, Marvel movies have made over 25 billion at the box office, and Star Wars remains a multi-million-dollar franchisee. Alright, here's my challenge for you. In the next 24 hours, apply one of these lessons. Simplify and focus on one thing in your life. Step 2, obsess over one important detail and raise your standards. You will quickly see how others level up around you. Develop a thick skin. Don't let criticism hold you back. Pick one, do it today, and drop me a comment below telling me which one are you committing to. I cannot say that if Steve Jobs could invent Apple himself, so can you. Maybe he was truly a genius. But you can apply these lessons without being a genius. Hell yeah. The only question is, will ya? Hit that like button if this gave you something to think about. Subscribe for more self-improvement strategies from the world's greatest minds. I will see you in the next one.